that we are going to discuss in this session is going to be job market 2024, long-term trends, careers which are in high demand, and networking careers related stuff. So job market in 2024, you guys are aware of the trends, right? The tracks which are in high demand today are AI, data science, DevOps, cybersecurity, right? And this nobody knows about it, high-end networking certifications, because this is something which is not commodity, right? This is actually something which is not the focus of anybody, which is great, right? I'll tell you why it is great and how companies like us, do wonders in our own domains as compared to the other tracks, because we are not in the radar of the larger industry and all that. So, and that's the reason I don't want to make competitors aware of that also, right? Why do you show your own opportunity to other people? But from the students' perspective, I want to tell you what are the opportunities. So we basically deal with these two down areas here: cybersecurity and high-end networking certifications. AI is, so we'll start with AI, right? Let me see if more students are joining or something. So we have 99 students, 100. Okay, so AI, right? That AI is picking up, the demand is there, it's a big thing in the market, etc., etc. And AI is something that's going to be there in every single thing that we do. If you look at Cisco, right? If you look at all the networking companies where Cisco and Juniper are the big ones, they have implemented a lot of AI, a lot of machine learning into their products. So imagine that almost all companies, right, no matter what are they dealing with, they have to deal with AI at some time, and that is driving the demand for AI software engineers. AI software engineer. So every time you say AI engineers, you have to essentially say AI software engineer, because that is the complete word. When you say AI engineer, most of the time you forget that it's actually going to be a programmer job who will actually write algorithms. There are two use cases of AI basically. So one is that the creators, those who write those softwares that create the AI software. The second one is the users, right? You have used a use case of Gemini, or you have also used chat GPT and all these things, right? So that is a user perspective. The benefit is to the real user. It's like MS Excel, right? There are two people: the company which makes MS Excel software, Microsoft, and the user who is using the Excel sheet or MS Word, or the different type of software. The company who makes it and the user who uses it. So that is one thing which is going to be in demand for next very, very long time. And almost every product will have some amount of AI, and some products will have even more of AI. So when we say AI, we also say machine learning, right? We say machine learning also. So some people call it machine learning engineers, some people call it AI engineers, but essentially you are talking about the similar stuff. Then you have data science, right? Then data science is again very, very important, because a lot of e-commerce stuff is happening out there. A lot of big data is happening today. You can calculate a lot of stuff. Let's say if you talk about Amazon, right? I want to see how much dry fruits are being sold every single day on Amazon.com. Yes, yes, Amit. ठीक है, I also will put it recording on the YouTube. Huh? So sorry for that. So data science is required. I'll give you one example. Let me let me do this example here. Let me pick up an account where I don't have. So this is amazing. We should share this other screen with you. So this is Amazon store, right? So let me write dry fruits. You see that 3,000 plus bought from this brand, 3,000 plus bought in past month, right? You see 4,000 bought in last past month, and different vendors, you will see 5,000 bought. So imagine that a lakh or 2 lakh dry fruit packages are being sold. I mean, I'm just taking a number on Amazon.com at this time. I'm not even talking about Big Basket or the other vendors, quick commerce vendors, and Dunzos and all those things. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about three or four, maybe Flipkart or this and that. So I'm the owner of Amazon.com, and I want to know how much money people are making or on just the dry fruits, or maybe forget about dry fruits. Dry fruit is a big category. So almond. So these are the companies. See, almonds are generally are not. There is a very small part of almonds that we produce in India, right? But America, California is the largest producer of almonds. So what most of the companies do is nobody creates that. It's a product which is imported from. So that's the reason you see California almonds, right? You see Tata selling California because they are just packaging it. They buy it at 400 rupees and sell it for 1000 rupees per kg or 1200 rupees per kg. And that's the business model of these guys. And that's amazing, right? I mean, look at AB baby companies, even Amazon, right? Amazon itself is selling that product and they have highest sale for K, 5K products. The product is basically imported from California. A lot of importers in India do that. So me as an Amazon or Flipkart want to know how much money. So, this is how Amazon actually created this. Amazon sees, oh, Tata is selling 600. 2000 is this open secret company. 600 plus is California, this one, right? And then you have Happy selling 10,000 in last month. Why not? Amazon sees that data and creates its own private label brand. Because see, they don't have to create, right? These almonds are not created in factory. They are grown, they are produced in most of the time, 90% or 85% of the production of the world happens in California. So everybody imports it, package it, take it for 400 rupees, right? And sell it for 900 rupees or 1000 rupees. Make 500 rupees per box and 3000 boxes are being sold. You are 3 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees a month easily, right? AB baby can sell it because on Amazon listing, right? They don't charge you listing charges and all that. You have to pay small commission. And that's how a huge number of people are making. Indians, Americans, and anybody who knows about Amazon is making crores of rupees by not doing anything, by just taking the stuff from one hand and selling it at other hand, right? That's what it is. So data science, this is the game of data science. Once you understand the game, once you understand the larger picture, you're sitting at, I'll talk about this company, a Bangalore-based company called Happy, right? So they have built a 1000 crore rupees brand out of selling these items, right? This guy was a computer science engineer, was programmer somewhere for a long time, and then he realized that the easy way is to take almonds from importer, put it in the bag, put a nice label, sell it for this is 500 gram, so 500 rupees, making 300 rupees on it. Amazing. No factory required, nothing else, right? Just pouch is required. The pouch is 2 rupees. And because of the good ratings and all that, he has come into the top ranking also. So what is it? The power of data science. Anybody who understands larger picture of data. So data science is going to be there for a very long time in the market, right? So where it is? This one. Here it is, right? So AI, you understood, right? AI is going to be required everywhere. Machine learning is what is required. Uh, Slowly you will see, and Japan or Korea and other places, you see that how they are using machine learning, right? The machines are capable of giving you so much of information on their own. If I talk about vending machines, right? Japan has massive amount of vending machines where there are no human beings. They will just leave the vending machines on the road, on the sides, and they will fill it up. And the machine, these items itself will be able to tell that these many Maggies are left, or these many items are left, or these many cold drinks are left, or whatever has happened, and then a person comes and fills that. Imagine that if you have 3000 machines selling something, right? 3000 vending machines are there, and those 3000 vending machines, if you have to replace a human being in Japan, the average cost is around $2000 a person, right, per month. 20 and 3 shifts, so $6000 per person. Imagine that value with $6000 into right? 3,000 machines. So that comes to couple of $1 million. 1 million is 8.5 crore rupees. So imagine that comes to, let's say, 100 million or $50 million kind of thing, right? 100 million means that monthly he's saving a massive amount of 850 crore rupees kind of thing. What is it? With machine learning. Because machine is able to tell that, let me give you one picture here of vending machine, Japan. Or America or anywhere else, you will see that these are the vending machines everywhere, no human beings. Whenever there is an item finished, what they do is the vending machine itself will send a message to that this is the quantity left, and one person will come and they will fill all these machines, and that's all. So replacing human beings with machines out there, right? That is the purpose of these particular tools, etc. So this is going to be a long-term trend, will always be in demand, right? Even Cisco uses it in a big way for cyber security attacks. Let me give you another example, okay? That let's say these vending machines are there. A company has 3,000 vending machines in one location, maybe 10,000 vending machines or 1 lakh vending machines. In America, if you look at it, companies have 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh vending machines also, right? You might have seen Amazon stores with no human beings, right? Huge number of stores in America with no human beings there. I don't know if you have gone to US and other places. I was in US in 2014, and I actually went to a medical store to buy some medicine. So guys, there is a lot of background noise. Can you please mute yourself? Okay. So 2014, I went to the medical store and there was no human being to tell me whatever medicine you want to pick up, you go, you pick it up, right? And what happens is you go to the barcode and make the payment for it with your credit card. That's all. So because the humans are very expensive, as I said, if you need one person in 3 shifts, 8-hour shift, right? 24 hours, you require 3 people out there, which means a massive amount. So you can save it. That's one store. What if you have 1,000 stores, right? And so machine learning with IoT, with other trends can do wonders. So that's the reason the demand for that is increasing. So you have seen one example of AI, right? Machine learning. I have also given you an example of a data science, how a lot of smart kids out there, 21, 22-year-old kids, are utilizing 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees and building a brand on Amazon.com and making a pretty good money with all that. The next trend that we have is DevOps, right? Well, DevOps is a new age technology, which is in big demand in the market, right? Because it also solves a lot of complex issues, which are built on the top of networking itself. So you can say that it is basically further virtualization of the cloud services, right? And so cloud is a larger picture, and then on the top of it, you have a lot of tools for software development for different things. And that's the reason the DevOps demand is there in the market, especially for startups, right? See, imagine how startups work. Startups, let's say I want to start some company, right? Startups do not have a massive money like Reliance has or Tata has and all those things. They can afford to have their infrastructure. So I will go to Amazon, right? And I want to buy a server with 1 Gbps connection, internet connection. I will build a website and upload it on my server, and I will start my operations on the day one. What is it? If I'm a large company, I will go with the private networking, private cloud kind of thing, which is Cisco and Juniper is doing, right? Which is a huge market. I'll come to those. Those are for different opportunities, right? That's a different level of game altogether that we are talking about. So DevOps is associated closely to the private cloud and public cloud, both the things. So DevOps is required, but it is more of from a software perspective, right, in the market. So that is also going to grow up in next 10 years, 20 years. You will see that these now it is called SRE, right? Then platform engineering, it was known as platform engineering, right? Then it is converted to SRE. Now so different names, new tools being added, etc., etc. A lot of new interesting stuff is happening. So these are the domains which are the new domains which are going to grow big time, right? And all of these requires you to have, this is a software thing. So this is also a software thing. It requires you to have solid Python skills and other skills also. So this is also Python. And this is cloud and Python. Plus different automation skills could be Python and all those. So these are the things available, right? Then we do not deal with these things, right? We deal with something which is constant, right? Which is cybersecurity and high-end networking certifications. So these are the two areas that we deal with: cybersecurity and high-end networking certifications. So cybersecurity is something which is always required no matter what happens. I'll give you an example. We will go back to these machines. We'll visit these machines back. Let's say these machines have AI built into it, machine learning built into it, right? They are perhaps connected to internet, and that is how they are able to tell their own whatever the owner of the company or the the teams out there in the company that I have now uh, 10 colas left, or maybe some juices are not finished, or about to finish, and all that. How will it do that? It is connected to internet all the time. All these machines are connected to internet all the time. But would you take a risk of connecting them to unsecure internet? Right? Let me give you another example. Let's change the picture here, and I will say, let's say ATM machines. These are the ATM machines, right? Yeah, they are always connected to internet. That's how they are connecting to your banking servers, so that you put a card or something else, right? Let's say in India it's UPI and different things, but around the world, if you look at it, the UPI is still not there. They still have the banking system using credit and debit cards and all that, right? So these machines, can you take a risk of connecting them using the local internet connections, which is private, completely insecure, right? You will not do that. Why you will not do that? Because anybody can hack sitting in the, let's say you are connected to me using Geo. Okay, let's say HDFC Bank has HDFC Bank ATM machines, or I'll say how many machines they have basically. So generally you have few lakh machines and all that. So you see that bank has a network of 18,000 these many machines, just one bank. I'm not talking about ICICI. I'm not talking about 100 more bank. I'm just talking about 19,000. So these 19,000 ATMs, do you think we can put them on an unsecure connectivity? They have machine learning, they have AI, they have everything. But what if inherently the internet itself is insecure? Somebody sitting in the backbone of Geo network, right? Or, Airtel or whatever ISPs they are connected to, that fellow is actually having a Wireshark and is able to grab all the data, whatever is happening, and is able to withdraw massive amount of money from these ATMs. So you would like to have secure data. How would you have that? Using cybersecurity, using Cisco SD-WAN, right? Or different companies SD-WAN. So all these routers are SD-WAN routers. That's the reason Cisco has small SD-WAN devices also, right? Where you will secure all these devices using those particular tools. Now, there are two ways of creating it. If you look at Cisco, right, a lot of people don't understand what is Cisco. I passed my CCI routing and switching lab in 2008. That is how many years now? 16 years, right? And same year I passed CCI security also, CCI security lab. So that is also how many years? 16 years, right? 16 years back, I did these two CCIs. And even that time, right, the demand and everything was same. And today, the demand and everything else is same. If we talk about when we started, in 2008, I think the Indian economy was 1 trillion. Today, the Indian economy is 4 trillion, is closing to the 4 trillion, right? So look at it, the amount of opportunities, amount of jobs, amount of things which have happened in the world. Cisco probably was a 10, $15 billion company, right? Now it is a 40, 50, $55 billion company and all those things. So these companies are like Reliance. I generally compare them to Reliance, right? So this may look a irrelevant example, but I'll try to give you from an example of, or I'll try to correlate them. So Reliance is a core of the country, right? I'll go back here. You all use Reliance, right? Some way or other. No, I'm not talking about uh, profit 2023, let's say. So the quarterly profit was 17,000. So let's say average 17 into 4, if you talk about, it's what we are actually talking about. The revenue was $106 billion and the quarterly the profit was around, I think 75,000 crore or 73,000 crore was a yearly profit. 73,000 crore was a yearly profit, right? Why is that? Because anybody who has a scooter, has a car, is a bus or anything else, any vehicle that you see on Bangalore Road, in Kolkata Road, in Mysore Road, in Bangalore Road, in Delhi Road, in any other city that you belong to, the probability is very high. The fuel, the crude oil that we have taken from other countries was actually filtered in the Jamnagar refinery, which is the world's largest refinery, by Reliance, right? And they have filtered and given it to Government of India, the filtered oil, and that's how Government of India is basically able to sell that oil. So that's a core business. Do we actually talk about it? Do we ever talk about it? We don't talk about it because it is the core layer. But if you don't talk about it, do you think that it doesn't exist? It's the most profitable company in India, right? Right there. And I have not talked about Reliance Jio, which is again very profitable company. I've not talked about Reliance Capital. I've not talked about Reliance Retail. I have not talked about Reliance Financial Services. I have not talked about any of those. I'm just talking about refinery right now. They are the core of the whole operating system of fuel of India, right? Similarly, if you look at companies like Cisco, which we do not understand a lot of stuff, cybersecurity is the core game of everything. No matter what you have, no matter what you have, all of these upper technologies, they will require cybersecurity, they will require network security, they will require information security, they will require data security, and they will require other types of securities which are required to protect the data, information, device, network, right? Different host security, network security, right? Different type of securities. So those are basically, you have to take it as those are given. There is a massive core which is always going to be there, which will always increase. And more in, the attacks increase, more the type of sophistication of different technologies comes, more cybersecurity is required. That's the reason today, more than cybersecurity, cloud security experts are required, are in the demand, right? People who know cybersecurity and cloud security, big demand. Because there is no university, there is no place which is producing cloud security engineers. Institutions are only focusing on cyber security, right? So if we look at here, we have tried doing that basically, but a lot of people have not understood the value of it. We tried adding cyber security and cloud security because we believe it's going to be a deadly combination. But because the average market, and we have not pushed a lot of marketing behind it, the program is not a big success. Next, I will come to high-end networking certification. This is a hidden gem, right? Which very few companies are aware of. The second thing is, and there is a protection in that, high-end networking certifications like CCI, CCDE, CCA. I'm not talking about CCNA and all the basic level certifications and all that, right? I'm actually talking, see the demand, if you look at it, the demand is always there on the top. If you are looking at 50-60 lakh rupees, if you want to go abroad for 2 crore rupees package, like a huge number of my students, right? If I just show you on the LinkedIn, you will be surprised to see how many students previously, when we used to produce, when we used to do only CCI trainings, right? How many students did we produce, the number of CCIs, and how many people are those guys are working in US and UK and all those countries today at 2.5 crore rupees package. Today, our business model is twisted because the students do not want to go for 2 lakh rupees exam, 1.5 lakh rupees lab exam, 8 hours lab exam. It's one of the most expensive lab exams in the world, right? So students don't have the courage to go for 8 hours exam, 1.5 lakh rupees risk in a single go, etc., etc. But again, that is limiting their scope and opportunity. because then they can beat up to 50-60 lakh rupees. They can actually reach to the US market and H1B visas or UK and all that, because these countries have absolutely no human beings to do the jobs, right? Their education systems are screwed up, especially the UK and Europe and all that. They are not able to produce. The second thing is, most of the focus of the nation is in the above these three things now, because we as a country and the world also, they generally run in a certain direction. So if people, one report comes that this is going to be the demand of AI engineers, the whole half of the world is going to be there. But look at it, some of the biggest companies in the world do not have a profit like Reliance, right? Because that's a core product. Everybody needs, every single human being needs oil, whether they have a scooter, they have a car. Now the electrical cars are there, right? But then he's making solar panels, they're getting into electrical vehicles, they are getting into new products and all those things, right? But last 30-40 years, he has been making 70,000 crore rupees a year just from one profit. They choose a business which has a large market size. So here, network as home also, we see large market size hidden from the lot of companies, and a lot of investments are required, crores of rupees of equipment. In cloud, what do you require? Why is every institute in the world is teaching cloud? Because you don't require anything. You open a free account on AWS, start teaching it. It becomes like Linux. Anybody can learn and anybody can teach. But to teach high-end certification, you have to spend crores of rupees in the labs, right? You need, if you talk about Cisco CCI security certifications, right? You require DNAC. DNAC itself is 50 to 60 lakh rupees minimum, the basic version. It goes up to 2 crore rupees, right? If you see networkers home, we have real licensed equipment of DNAC, and that cannot be replicated as a virtual also. So real investments are basically there, right? So that's the reason very few institutions, because there is a cutoff. Not everybody can enter into that game. Similarly, the refinery, oil refinery is a massive investment. Reliance did it one time, right? The largest refinery in the world today, they are not India's refinery. They are Nepal's refinery, they are Bangladesh refinery, they are Sri Lanka's refinery, because these countries cannot afford to spend billions of dollars to create a refinery. They cannot afford. So they rely on India for the petroleum products. Crude oil comes from different countries, whether Russia or Saudi Arabia and all those things. So what I'm saying is, the core is, a lot of people don't understand the core. We have been always in the core business. Okay, now you got the picture that I'm saying. Now let's focus on the networking careers, or add it, whenever I say networking, add a cybersecurity, network security, right? All these things. So low-end careers. Low-end careers is basically the network engineer kind of thing, CCNA to CCNP kind of thing, right? Or CCNA level, or let's say CCNP also, if you want to call it. And what is the package that we can generally expect with these kind of things? You can expect starting with depending on the companies and depending on the city, you can expect from 2.5 lakh rupees. And if you are, fresher, 3.5 lakh rupees maybe. In networkers home, you see that we go up to maximum 8.5 or 9.5 lakh rupees starting package for the freshers, right? Maximum. And 3 to 4 year experience engineer can reach to 10 to 20 lakh rupees, depending on which company. Different companies have different standard, your own qualifications, your own ability of facing interviews, and 100 more activities, right? So that's one thing. Average, I will say, what are the certifications? Let's say CCNP security, you can say, right? And you can say maybe MPLS, F5, LTM, and all those things. So the average, right? 20 lakhs to 25 lakh rupees, maybe 30 lakh rupees is what you can basically reach. The advanced careers are CCI, then let's say CCI enterprise. How much? Maybe 25, 30 lakh rupees. Okay. CCI security, a little higher, right? CCDE, which is the next level certification of it, is much more higher, right? CCDE is, I even don't know what is the market rate right now, but Cisco kind of companies will pay you anything, right? They have requirement for it. The design experts, there are hardly 20, 30, 40 people pass these exam. So CCI exam, if you talk about today, the passing rate has gone down. The students taking the exam are not there in the market. So right now, probably in a year, nothing less than more than 300 to 400 people pass this exam. So the demand is very, very high for certified engineers, right? And CCD exam happens in very few locations in the world. Now, I'll give you one example. When I started my career in Bangalore, the exam center location was not in India. There was no CCI exam center location. One time I went to China, right? I failed the exam in China. Then I went to Brussels, Europe in 2005 or 6, maybe. My company sponsored it. I used to work in Dubai. So I failed in Brussels, Europe, right? And then 2008, 7 or 8, in India location, the exam center opened in Bangalore, right? And that's where I passed the exam. So people like us used to go even to China, even to Europe to write exams. Imagine that, an additional 2.5 lakh rupees to actually invest into this certification because the opportunity size was big. Even today, it's big, right? There is no doubt about it. It's just that people are not passing it because everybody wants to earn the highest amount of money without putting the maximum efforts and all that. So that is the kind of, so these are the core certifications if you look at it. Now, why the demand is still there for CCI certifications, right? So here I would like to talk about two concepts which you guys are aware of. So you guys are aware of a thing called public cloud. Let me see. Public cloud. And what you are not aware of, or most of the people are not aware of, something called private cloud, right? So public cloud is everybody is aware of that, the AWS or Google Cloud, GCP and all that. Private cloud is where you use the equipment from Cisco or Juniper, VMware, and all these companies. And this market is also huge, right? Let me give you some examples of the world. So let's say if you have a lot of money, right? If you have a lot of money and you want to go from here to airport, which method will you take? Public taxi? Or if you have, or will you take Mercedes? Your own taxi, maybe, own car, with a driver for sure. If you have a lot of money, what will you do? If you have to go to airport, will you use a public taxi or will you use your own car? The chances are very high that you are going to use your own car with the driver. He will drop you up to airport, right? And once you come back, he will go and pick you up from there. So what is the benefit? You are secure, you feel more comfortable, right? So similarly, public cloud, a lot of companies do not want to put a lot of money in the public cloud, especially the big players. What are those? Banks. Their data is the most important. They cannot put their data on the cloud. And banks are the richest identities in the world, right? Or anything which require confidentiality, whether stock markets, stock exchanges, right? They have crores of rupees being transacted every single day, right? Let me give you one example here. Yesterday, stock market crash happened, right? Stock market crash yesterday. What was the loss? Let me write loss. I want to show you how much loss happened in one single session. Stock market today, right? That is 20 hours back. Yesterday, investors lose about 5 lakh crores in a day as Sensex Nifty 50 falls 1%. Guys, what are we talking about? We are talking about 1% drop and 5 lakh crore rupees was investors lost in a single day. Cumulative, collective loss, right? Not one person has lost 5 lakh crore. If you look at that shows the size of the market. 1% of the market is 5 lakh crores. So how much is the total? 500 lakh crores, right? Understand the picture, right? 1% is 5 lakh crore. 1% is 5 lakh crore, not 5,000 crore, 50,000 crore. We're talking about 5 lakh crore. So what are we talking about? We are talking about the total market size is 5 lakh crores. That is lost in one day. Do you think a stock exchange, Indian stock exchange, which has the key to 5 lakh crore rupees market size, 5 lakh crore, do you think they will go to public cloud to run their infrastructure? They will trust AWS, they will trust these cloud guys who are known to steal the data. Will they trust them? They will call Cisco. We want to build in-house world-class technical infrastructure where we will put Cisco Nexus switches with the terabytes per second or per millisecond kind of capacity per port, because to deal 1 lakh crore rupees, 500 lakh crore rupees kind of market cap of a company or Sensex, you don't know how many investors right now are buying shares and selling shares. Crores of people, right? When the crores of people are sitting on the stock market servers through whatever app, right? App could be Zerodha, app could be somebody else, but they are connecting back to the Sensex servers, right? Because the data is with the Sensex server, with the government. So when will they go? The stock markets, will they go to the cloud? Do they have money problem? No, they don't. They want the most confidential, because a smart guy comes in, he sees 500 lakh crores. The guy will screw up, will take all the money. Single place where you have 500 lakh crore rupees, right? In a single day, if you can lose 5 lakh crore, 1%, that means you are sitting at 500 lakh crores. You are sitting at massive money, and one guy, if the network is not secure, he can take it all. So this is where a lot of people don't understand why the Cisco kind of companies are so damn big, because they are the backbone of 200 countries, most precious network infrastructure. If you talk about Geo, right? If you talk about Geo, right? What is Geo built of? It's pure Cisco. A huge amount of it is, right? Huge amount of it, the Geo backbone, the cutting edge 5G backbone, and now they're heading towards 6G also, right? Is all purely the Cisco devices. It's in partnership, right? Billions of dollars of devices are purchased by Geo from Cisco, right? And if you look at, Cisco says Geo and Airtel extraordinary partners, right? So what are we talking about? We are talking about some of the largest assets of a nation and 200 nations. We're talking about the largest assets. What are the largest assets of a country? Banks, stock markets, refineries, right? Where is the money of a country? In the private businesses, large businesses, which are dealing with things which are required on a daily basis. Crores of vehicles using petrols and diesels. Crores of people doing financial transactions over banks. Crores of people using internet infrastructure. Crores of people using different, stock market for transactions and all that. So something which a lot of people do not understand, that this is a backbone. It's a very big sector, right? And it has also its own domain. Let's say CCI data center is one of the exam which focuses on CCI, data center world. Because private cloud needs its own data center also. So Cisco has a complete data center series, which is Cisco data center switches. And you see the kind of switches they have and different kind of products they have. right? You will see that the port capacity is 1 gigabit to 400 gigabit per second per port. Imagine that per port, the capacity of a switch is the per port basis, they have up to 400 gigabits. If you talk about latency, it is going to be amazing, right? So the opportunity, what, how do you get excited about doing something? How do you get excited about doing a course? If you are not excited about the scope of something, if you do not know the full picture of something, how will you know how big is the scope? Big is the opportunity for me? Right? And if you do not know the picture, I showed you one simple example of how does ordinary kids are building businesses by buying something from importer and packing it, putting it in their house in a label, and selling 3,000 packets of dry fruits every single day, making 1 lakh rupees a day. And these guys are also full-time working with a company. They are working as a software guy, they are working as something else, they are working as something else in the company. This is they are doing part-time. That's how they have learned it from the market, right? From their friends, or let's say today I was the mentor, I told you something, I showed you the stats. Maybe they got a mentor like that who has showed them those opportunities, and they actually are the one who wanted to get into it. So they did it. So public cloud, we are all aware of, and a lot of companies, the opportunity and the problem with public cloud is that every single company or thousands of companies are teaching it. And that's the reason there is the job market has gone bad with it. Private cloud, the problem is equipments are required, very expensive equipments are required. And there are very specialized institutions who are only focused on this. But very safe, secure, because core doesn't have much fluctuations. Core doesn't have much fluctuations. Let's say technology. If you are a SaaS company, if you're any software company, right? What happens? Look at Windows. It was DOS operating system, right? Then Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows 2000. Now I don't know, Windows XP came. Then a lot of different Windows. They have to create an operating system every 2 years or 3 years for last 30, 35, 40 years. And that's how they make money. That's a lot of hard work for a software company to survive, right? And so many companies have closed down because the competitor comes with a new product. If you look at Blockbuster, right? Blockbuster was the first uh, film company, which was the DVD rental company, right? Or the movie rental company on the internet. And they closed down. Netflix today is $14 billion company, $5 billion of profit, right? That's like 50,000 crore rupees of net profit by selling movies to 200 countries online. So in software and all these industries, what happens is the new smart guy comes in. He says, you made this product, I'm going to make that's what Steve Jobs did, right? He made a better product than anybody else. At that time, internet was not there in the phones. Phones were only used as phone. Today, phones are not used as phone. Today, you do more internet on the phone than calling. How many times a day do you call somebody on the phone? Rare. But how many times do you do internet and apps and WhatsApps and other things which are related to internet and data? More. So phone is not a phone calling device anymore, right? It is a camera. You are using it as a camera. You are using it to make social media content and other things. You're doing a lot of other stuff with it. A visionary, Steve Jobs, was able to see that as a different device. While Nokia was a world leader, Nokia had 70 to 80% market share of the world at one time, right? Where is Nokia today? Nokia is not even in the top 10. Apple is a 3 trillion company. Nokia is not even half trillion. 20 years back, 25 years back, Nokia was the world's largest company. A new guy comes in, he starts making new phones, and he takes over the world. So what I'm trying to tell you is that it is just a context of how you look at things. If you start believing, right, and if you have to do a research on it, whatever I'm saying, don't believe it blindly. Do a research on it. see what I'm saying is correct or not, and that will ensure the decision that you have taken, right, about these professions is also, because it's a core, it doesn't change much. Although Cisco kind of companies, the certification that we teach, right, has been changing quite a lot recently. If you look at it, what happens? SDN came, Cisco SD-WAN and Cisco DNAC came, right? IoT comes into it. Machine learning is, most of the products have built-in machine learning, which you don't have to do anything. The machine learning is smart enough to do a lot of stuff for you. But you are the one who will configure based on that. Let's say your device is being attacked. You are managing a firewall, Palo Alto or Cisco or any other company, and you see from particular IP address or from a particular country a huge amount of SYN attacks or any different type of attack is happening. So initially, what used to happen is that your device will try to defend it. Now your device can also stop these attacks, can block those IPs, can do a lot of other activities related to it, can inform you, can send you a email, can send you a WhatsApp, can send you a text message that this is the attack going on. I have blocked this. If you think these are legitimate, kindly open those connections also. So a lot of manual work that network engineer used to do, network security engineers used to do are also included in. So these integrations will keep on happening. Data science is a part of it, right? You want to see how many alerts are there, how many times authentication has happened in our servers. You want to see any type of data, you can see that. Let's say I'll talk about a firewall perspective. You want to use data science in it. So you want to see how many people have used WhatsApp in my company, how many people have used social media in my company, right? So let's say you have 10,000 employees sitting at different locations, connecting through to your network and then passing through your firewall. You want to check what is the bandwidth used by the company, by these by these employees, and how much resources are being used. Let's say it should not happen that your company's whole bandwidth is used by employees for social media. Nobody likes that, right? So then the company will form a policy that, okay, all employees are using social media whole day. They are choking the bandwidth. They are getting unproductive because of that. So we have to block these certain apps. I used to work in Saudi Arabia in 2005, 6, and G-Talk and all these, a lot of other stuff was blocked. Google was blocked in a telecom provider. Imagine that. Because people were wasting a lot of time here and there. Right? Today, that is not the case, but today there are a lot of other activities coming, like say TikTok is a big time waster in US, right? In India, it is blocked. It's not allowed, but in US, everybody is talking negative about TikTok. Mental health issues, the kind of control they have over the people data and all those things. So your company do not want any data to be leaked on TikTok, so they will not allow anything. Maybe TikTok is spying on your corporate network. When you in your phone, the TikTok application is there. You bring the phone to your office. You are doing some stuff. You are sitting on a network. It tried to take all the information on the network. Your company doesn't want that. Right? So these are the kind of opportunities that I wanted to discuss with you guys, that the two big opportunities that we deal with. See, it's not about that how these are the only opportunities or those are the only opportunity. A lot of people think that way, right? That okay, if the planes comes, right, aeroplane comes, airplanes comes, the trains will be gone. That's not the case. The trains are full. These are full. The taxis are full, right? All the buses are full. These are different methods of travel. So one thing coming up is not going to finish the other one. These are different modes of transport. When we do not have a larger picture of things, so I'll give you another example. A lot of people are not aware of that. What is the difference between data security, cloud security, cyber security, information security, and host security? These are different domains. There are engineers who are into this. And also there are engineers, there are auditors, there are managers in each of these domains who deal with these particular domains. right? So different roles. We do not understand in networking. If you talk about, there are 30 to 40 roles which are there: network engineers, network consultant, principal architect, right? Consultant level roles. In consultant level roles also, you have different, you have data center engineers, you have security engineers, you have network engineers, you have service provider engineers, you have telecom engineers, you have different type of things. So it's a huge canvas, right? And that's where the opportunities are there. So a lot of people are not aware of, in the new fancy terms of these new courses and all that, where a lot of buzz is going on, a lot of the noise is going on, they actually lose out on the core, right? And core is where the money is. I told you, which is the most important thing in the, let me give you another example. Some of the top startups, right? The most successful startups in the world are fintech, because they deal with banking, they deal with finance, right? Then retail, that's a core. Everybody has to buy groceries, everybody has to buy basic stuff and all those things, right? So the companies which are dealing with, if you know Amazon, right? The world's largest e-commerce company. Flipkart, one of the largest companies in India, right? In this thing. Why do you know that? Why don't you not, you are not aware of so many small companies in HSR layout, thousands of companies roaming around, hundreds of startups? Because they are not dealing with the day-to-day life of the core products. One, if they deal with the core products, you will actually be connecting to them also. That's the reason a lot of people, right, they actually go toward the core, because core is a large market. Of course, more money is required. Sometimes it's the intelligence which is required. Some people capture it. The different strategies are there. That's a topic for some other day. So guys, this was the agenda that I wanted to discuss with you guys. Now what I'll do is I'm going to take questions from you, uh, and then we will see what else can be done. So that's all from me, guys. Now time to ask some questions. So any confusion, any doubt, anything that you want to add to what I said, right? Please let me know. Just unmute yourself and ask a question if you have something. Anything related to career scope, networkers home, teaching, training, any other methodology, and anything else. And I will
Yeah,
stop the recording.